There are few forms of loss more complete than the loss of sound. To be cut off from voices, from music, from the subtle conformations of the human world. This is not merely a physical impairment, it is a form of exile. For Beethoven, silence did not arrive gently. It closed in slowly, relentlessly, until the world he had known, conversation, music, applause, birdsong, withdrew beyond reach. And yet, it was in this silence that one of the most profound affirmations of human joy was conceived. When sound disappears from the outer world, one is forced inward. For Beethoven, music no longer arrived through the ear. It arose instead from within. Sound became imagination. Structure became memory. Harmony became interior architecture. Music was no longer something he heard. It was something he held. This invites a deeper question, one that reaches far beyond biography. If music can exist without being heard, what is music truly? Music is often treated as decoration, as entertainment, as background. But this cannot be right. Every civilization, without exception, has produced music, not only in times of celebration, but in grief, in war, in exile, in poverty, in suffering. Human beings sing when language fails. This suggests that music is not an ornament of life, but one of its essential conditions. Music is structured meaning without words, order without argument, emotion without chaos. It does not persuade the intellect, it shapes the inner life. Reason teaches us how to live. Music teaches us how living feels. It accompanies us in grief, not to distract us from pain, but to give pain a form we can endure. It accompanies love, not to intensify desire, but to deepen attachment. It accompanies solitude, not to eliminate loneliness, but to make solitude inhabitable. Music does not solve our problems, it steadies us within them. A well-lived life requires more than knowledge. It requires emotional literacy. Without music, feeling overwhelms. With music, feeling is shaped, contained, and integrated. Here the life of Beethoven returns to us, not as tragedy, but as symbol. The man who could no longer hear the world gave the world one of its most unifying sounds. This is not irony alone, it is revelation. Joy, Beethoven shows us, is not the absence of suffering. Meaning is not cancelled by pain. Music does not deny hardship. It transforms it. What emerges is not optimism, but dignity. The final movement of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, Ode to Joy, is often misunderstood. It is not joy as happiness, not joy as pleasure, not joy as celebration. It is joy as reconciliation, a vision of humanity united, not by power, doctrine, or argument, but by shared dignity. All men become brothers. This is not sentiment. It is moral imagination. A civilization speaking to itself about what it might yet become. Why do we listen to music? Because we long for coherence, for harmony, for something that gathers the scattered parts of ourselves. Music reminds us that suffering need not harden us. That solitude need not hollow us. That joy need not be shallow. A life without music may still function, but it will never fully understand itself. To listen, truly listen, is not indulgence. It is an act of cultivation. Beethoven, alone in silence, imagined joy not as comfort, but as unity, and in doing so, he reminds us of something essential, that the human spirit does not endure by reason alone. It endures through resonance, through sound, through form, through beauty, and through music we learn, again and again, how to be human.